What's happening? What's happening? What's up? What's up? What's up, peeps? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is 9 o'clock, actually 9:01. Let's get this party started. Waiting on the camera to catch up with my voice, my microphone to catch up with my voice. If you guys can hear me out there, put in a one in the chat. That will be great for me to see that I can be seen and heard. We got a good one today. I'm excited. I'm excited about it. We're going to talk about a few things today. Um, for one, we're going to talk about, do you live by a personal code of ethics, or what is your governing philosophy, and how you can use this to make better decisions, especially now, right? And it's a good time to really be laser beam focused on what your values are, right? So this morning I got up, right, and I did my miracle morning, with with my silence, my affirmation, visualization, a little exercise, and reading and scribing. Right. So I did those things this morning, and those actually help me handle my day a certain way. I think it was Brian Tracy that says, your first 30 minutes are like the rudder of your day. So starting your day off a certain way helps you out. It also helps you tame your robot brain and your monkey brain before they can wake up and get wild. You give your sage brain that Yoda part of you to to thrive and flourish, because it's telling the rest of your body and the rest of your mind what to do. All right. So today we're going to talk about this code of ethics. And I was thinking about this because I've told you guys I've been rereading Joe Schroeder's book, Disciplines of Doership, and he talks about this like having a philosophy, your own self philosophy. And I titled it in the title as a personal code of ethics. It's the same thing, right? And so I looked up the word values, and what the word value, it means like ethics, what you hold high in regard, your what helps you make decisions, what's this, and if you make decisions based on your values. And I learned this a long time ago. I'm not sure who I learned it from. It was from some book. And it's kind of like how if you guys are familiar with the Franklin Covey planners, and they used to just be the Franklin planner back in the day. The guy that created that planner, he talks about, you know, making your decisions based on your values, right? But if you don't know what your values are, then how are you going to make those decisions? How are you going to make consistent decisions? If you're not making them based on a defined set of values, right? And so, I would recommend that you all get this book, The Compound Effect. All right, by Darren Hardy. Shouts out to Darren. He's a master mentor. I would recommend that you guys also sign up for his free daily mentor program. It's called Darren Daily. You could probably go to his website, darrenhardy.com, and subscribe to Darren Daily. It comes out early in the morning. It's something good that you can listen to, while you're fixing your coffee or doing your exercise or whatever. Usually like, 3 minutes to 5 minute, videos. And you don't even have to really look at it. You can be listening to it while you're doing whatever else you're doing. But it's good information, right? And inside this book, Darren has a worksheet. Basically, well, you can get it offline. He sends you to his website. You get it offline. It's like a worksheet, and it helps you define your core values. Now, I found out about this worksheet before I even read this book. I found out about this worksheet in the Insane Productivity course, and I'm gonna pull up that again. We looked at it the other day, the Insane Productivity course, right? He has a core value assessment, and he says your values are your GPS navigation system for life. Getting them defined and properly calibrated is one of the most important steps in redirecting your life towards your grandest vision, right? And I could say 100% that just doing this assessment has really helped me to make better decisions. So out of all the different, it gives you a list of like a list of values that can jog your memory, right? I'll put it here so you can see it. So you go through all of this, right? And then he gives you a memory jogger of values, right? And I'm pretty sure you could probably find this online or somewhere like that, but he gives you a memory jogger, right? And so, he asks you certain questions like, who is the person I respect most in life? What are their core values? Who is my best friend? What are his or her top three qualities? If I could have more of any one quality instantly, what would it be? What are three things I hate? Which three people in the world do I dislike the most and why? That's an interesting question. Um, which personality trait, attribute, or quality do people compliment me on the most? What are the three most important values I want to pass on to my children? The next one, if I were to teach a graduating high school class values that would give them the best opportunity for success in life, what would those be and why? If I had enough money to retire tomorrow, what values would I continue to hold? And what values do I see being valid 100 years from now? And he has here the top dozen qualities of the ideal man or woman. These are really, really good. So he had you break them down. You list your, out of all these values that you put together, you break down and you list 10. And then from those 10, you got to break down the top six, I believe. Yep, the top six. And from those top six, you got to break it down even further to your top three. All right. And so mine came down to my three, and I didn't know this until I did this exercise. But once I did it, it got clear to me that my top three values: family, independence, and well-being. So that's for me. Your values could be completely different, and they probably will be. But once you use these values, those are your code. That's your code of ethics. That's your guiding system. That's like when you go to a company, right? You go to like a business, and they show their company values or their code, their business ethics. The things that they value and their vision and all of that. You've got to have your own personal code of ethics, your personal value statement. You need to have that. You need to have that, and you make decisions based on that. So like last night I went out, not last night, but during the day yesterday, I went out, it's out in the world doing a whole lot of things. So the first things I did when I got home, which is something I was working on, I'm working on being better at, is I grabbed my planner. I grabbed my written planner, not my phone. I grabbed my planner because I had sat and planned out my day, sat and looked at the things that I wanted to get accomplished. And there were some things that I hadn't got accomplished already that, it's just on my list. And if I don't get it accomplished that day, then I have to write it again the next day. And if I don't get it accomplished the next day, I got to write it again. So I got to keep writing it until I get it accomplished. Right. And so last night, I sat and I looked at, what I needed to do based on my values, based on my top three, my core values. I looked at what I needed to do. And it was clear. It was family, independence, well-being. And I looked at my list of 5 things, the 5 things that I want to do, my 5 most valuable priorities, right? My MVPs, and one stood out, and it had something to do with my family, right? And not just something that Carlton wanted, but something that had something to do with my family, which was the number one core value. So I did that. I slept good. I slept good because I made a decision based on my value. Now, had I done something else, and yeah, I might have gotten that accomplished, but if I go look at my planner again and I see that I didn't do this one thing, and a lot of these things are not difficult to do, they're simple things, but I'm using my code of ethics. I'm using my core values to I drew a blank for a second. Boop, I had a brain fart. I'm using my core values to help me make my decisions. All right. And so having that code of ethics, your own little philosophy, it helps. And I talked to you guys the other day about the habit tracker. Let's see here. It looks like we got some comments. Meditation helps me first morning back in Georgia. Good morning, brother. Ethics are a major part of being me. So happy to be safely back. Yes, Tracy, I'm glad you're back. Yes, because that conversation we had last week was wild. So I'm glad you're back, and Godspeed to you. Yes, that's awesome. I'm glad you made it back here safely. And so last week, or no, maybe yesterday or a couple of days ago, I was talking to you guys. I use a habit tracker, right? And so the habit tracker, it also helps me with this code of ethics, this personal philosophy, because it actually, I'm saying this positive self-talk every day. And so the next step, let's see if I can get that in there. There we go. There we go. And see if you see, oh, it went to the next week. Okay. So let me see if I can hold it this way and get it out of the glare. Because the light, you see the light bulb, y'all? All right. So this, let's see if we can make this work. So basically this habit tracker, right? You see it, that's last week. If you look at all of that, and there's a spot right there, those are like little business tasks that I need to implement. So I need to put those at the bottom. But this habit tracker, it helps you just stay on track, stay on track, stay on track, stay on track. And a lot of these things I have in there that are habits are positive self-talk statements. So that they become your governing philosophy. Like I talked to you guys earlier this week about something Joe Schroeder says, and then that he was saying to himself is, my prosperity prospers 10,000 people, their prosperity prospers me. Now, that's powerful, right? When you say something like that and you're saying it several times a day, my prosperity prospers 10,000 people, their prosperity prospers me. If your prosperity, what you have, what you have to give, because you have something to give, even if it's just hope. I was sharing with some of my buddies. We have a Telegram group, and we're in there, we're talking, messaging, and I said, well, what I do is I give hope. I have an abundance of hope to give, right? I have an abundance of hope to give every day, every morning. If I can't give you guys anything else, if I can't give this world anything else, I'm going to put that out there. I'm not going to give you guys any negativity. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give you guys positivity, right? Some things that you can, some good mental food that you can take and use for your own life, right? And because I'm doing that, each one teach one. So you'll go out and you'll affect the next person, and then that person will go out and affect the next person, and it creates a ripple effect, right? It creates a ripple effect. Now, this good energy that's being put out, it's gonna come back. It might not come back directly from you, but it's definitely gonna come back. It's reaping and sowing, right? It's sowing and reaping, sowing and reaping, sowing and reaping. What comes around goes around. It's the same principles, right? It's simple. It's simple principles, simple nature principles. You know what I mean? It's just basic. So that's why I share this kind of stuff with you guys, because somebody can use this, right? Somebody can use this. Like Tracy said, meditation helps her. I meditate every day. It's rare. It's rare when I don't at least spend maybe 5 minutes. I like to do 15 minutes. And for at one point in time, I was reading this one book. It's called Dollars Flow to Me Easily, or Easily to Me, by Richard Dotts, Dotts. And he says, take do it 3 times a day for 15 minutes. And And all he says is just, for 15 minutes a day, he's not saying you got to have some special breathing technique. You got to sit in some kind of special posture. You got to do a special chant. He's not saying any of that, right? He said, just focus your thinking, your thoughts on peace, love, and abundance, or peace, love, and or abundance. And whichever one you may need at that time, right? Whichever one you may feel that you need to, link up with at the time, focus on that, right? And so, the things like that, they become your governing philosophy, right? And those things, and like I said, what you worried about, what you speak about, you become about. Okay. So we talk about that. And I'm just happy to be able to share that with some people, because I know some people needs that. Again, check this book out. Check this book out. Get the ebook if you need to, get the audio book. It's very good. One thing he said in there, he talked about in the compound effects, he talks about tracking, tracking little small daily things. These little small daily things that we do, they build up over time. It's compounding, the compound effect. He talks about it. And I know using the compound effect, and this is a little different. We're getting off the ethics, your personal code of ethics, but we're still talking, about life. We're talking about life skill stuff, right? Especially now. Right before this COVID-19 thing happened, I guess maybe I started tracking my expenses, my spending, not necessarily my expenses, but my spending, because I wanted to get a control on my spending, right? Because I would have like monthly memberships to things, it may be $5, $10, whatever, $19, things that I wasn't using. And I'm like, oh, I'll use it one day. Never got a chance to use it. So I started, being that I was, I would look at everything that went out of my bank account every single day, and I would write it down. I would actually physically write it down in this little book. And little book maybe cost, I think I got it from the Dollar Tree for $1, right? But I was tracking my expenses. I was tracking everything I spent, right? Tracking everything I spent. And then I look at it and say, well, why am I spending money on that? And that book helped me do that. Right. So I would recommend that book to anyone. Darren he's one of the 5 people. I told you guys it's only 5 people that I'm really listening to their advice during this whole, pandemic situation. Right. Because everybody doesn't know. A lot of people haven't been through economic downturns, or, I'm not going to say rough spots. Most of us have gone through rough spots. Hey, Terry, what's happening? Most of us have gone through rough spots, but to go through economic downturns, right, and then come out on the other side better than what you went in, those are the people we need to be listening to. I'm so serious. I'm so serious. I've resolved to pretty much give up listening to the news. I told you guys that yesterday, day before yesterday. I'm not listening to a whole lot of news. I can get caught up with what's going on in the world. I may listen to a little blurb. Um, uh, Olivia may tell me something that I'll hear. She'll tell me something about something that happened in the news. My network of people may tell me something, but me personally, I'm not going to turn on the TV to look at the news. I'm not. And I'm so laser beam focused on hearing what these 5 people have to say. Even if it's something recorded or if it's some kind of training that they did, I want to know how they think. Okay, because they're not thinking like the masses of people. We talked about the 4 degrees of action yesterday with Grant Cardone. He's not thinking like the average person. Okay, he's long transcended from thinking like the average person. I don't want to think like the average person. The average person is more than likely panicking, and and there are some people who, granted, and I don't want to sound callous, there are some people who really, 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 really need the help, and they don't know what to do. And by all means, if figure out a way that you can get the help that you need, you know. But if you're listening to this, hopefully, hopefully, hopefully you've you're on the path to figuring out how you're going to come out on the other side of this thing better than you went in. Okay, because it's going to change. A lot of things are going to change. I'm actually doing I'm attending a 10 questions training with Darren today, just for business leaders, right? Just for business leaders. So the information that I get out of that, I'm definitely going to share with you guys tomorrow. Please make sure you are going to be on this live stream tomorrow at 9, and I'm going to share with you the things that I learned from Darren today. Darren, if you don't know, it says at the bottom, publisher of Success Magazine. Okay. All right. So this guy has sat and he's talked with so many people. Like, imagine being able to talk to Steve Jobs before he passed away. You know, all types of people, and that person downloaded their success secrets into your mind, and now you're out sharing them with other people. That's who this guy is. All right, that's who this guy is. Tracy says the music causes more stress and tends to keep me from accomplishing. Yes, Tracy, that's right. When you have that whole stress build up, that fear build up, you'll be afraid to leave your house. you know, you'll be afraid to open your eyes, like, oh my God, I don't want to wake up today. And guess what? Your brain, your robot brain, keeps getting programmed with that fear, keeps getting programmed with that negative energy, and that energy has to come out some kind of way. It has to come out some kind of way. So yeah, shut it off. Seriously, shut it off. You know, if I can't do it. Me personally, I can't do the news right now. I can't. It's so crazy. It's crazy. And I don't know if you guys know, Georgia's getting ready to open back up, like the restaurants and barber shops and all kinds of stuff like that, gyms, that stuff, churches, all that's getting ready to open up, between Friday and Monday. So it's going to be real interesting. It's going to be real interesting. There are mixed thoughts about that. But again, like I was telling my friends this morning in our Telegram group, I'm all for self-reliance and self-preservation, 100%. If I don't know anybody personally that's actually I know somebody who actually did get sick from COVID. But I know some people whose family members have passed away. People who, these people have known their friends, people they've known all their lives. Someone passed away that they knew, so it's real. So once again, I hear what the government is saying, but you have to have your own, once again, your own personal code of ethics, your own, your own value systems that you make decisions by. So if it's something that's going to put my family in jeopardy, then I'm not going to do it. That's not my number one core value, right? Is this something that's going to put my independence in jeopardy? I'm not going to do it. If it's something that's going to put my well-being in jeopardy, I'm not going to do it. And neither should you if those are your core values. Once again, grab this book. Like I said, first found out about it in Insane Productivity. But it came from the compound effect. So staying spiritual centered is my key to survival. Thank God for every moment of faith, not fear. That's why I had to return home. Yes. There you go. There you go, Tracy. That is absolutely right. So once again, I hope you guys got some value out of this. Go ahead and throw some sevens in the chats if you got some value out of this, and make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and don't forget, I am looking for houses to buy. All right, I'm looking for houses to buy. You can go to my website. It's www.omnibuys.houses.com to learn more information. That's www.omnibuys.houses.com, and you'll see exactly what I'm doing. take all the guesswork out of it, right? And so once again, I thank you guys for being on here. This is Carlton Lewis, aka Mellow Melanin, aka Mega Businessman, coming to you live and direct from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm still the Southeast Beast, the Conquering Chief, Your Highness, the finest prosperity done, #1. And I may add International Man of Action to that. I don't know. You know, we speak things into existence. We name what we want to name ourselves. We can do that. We have the power to do that. All right. So with that being said, you guys have a wonderful day. I look forward. Make sure you guys are on this live stream tomorrow at 9. If you can't catch it live, catch the replay. I'm going to be dropping some serious nuggets about how we can make it through this whole situation and come on the other side. Like I said, I'm getting my tips from a really credible source. I'm not listening to a whole lot of people right now, just not. All right. And I want to share this information with you guys because you're tuning in. All right. Peace.